Incidents of droughts and floods. Firstly, let us talk about droughts. Drought is a distress situation caused by the failure of rainfall when the surface water is in short supply and the groundwater loses its potentiality. A drought condition adversely affects the biotic life of the area. The rainfall may be insufficient and may not occur at the required time. Thus, both the quantity as well as time of the rainfall are very important. Next, let us talk about the causes of droughts. Firstly, drought in India occur in the event of a weak southwest monsoon. A weak monsoon results in deficient rainfall and droughts occur. Droughts also occur due to late arrival or early withdrawal of the monsoon. Prolonged breaks in the monsoon during rainy season also results in droughts. Next areas. There are some well-defined tracts of droughts. Firstly, the desert and semi-desert regions covering about 6 lakh square kilometer. It is more or less a rectangle formed by lines from Ahmedabad to Kanpur on one side and from Kanpur to Jalandhar on the other side. Some areas in this region are without irrigation and comprise the worst famine tracts of the country. Next, the dry region lying in the lee side of the Western Ghats up to a width of 300 kilometers, stretching eastwards up to 100 kilometers from the east coast and reaching right up to the southern tip of the peninsula. It covers an area of about 3.7 lakh square kilometer. Next, outside the above mentioned two major regions, there are isolated pockets which experience frequent droughts and are termed as drought-prone areas. They are number 1, Coimbatore and Nillai, Kottaboman district in Tamil Nadu, Saurashtra and Kutch region, Jhansi, Lalitpur, Banda and Mirzapur district of Uttar Pradesh, Palamau plateau of Jharkhand, Purulia district of West Bengal, and Kalahandi region of Odisha. These scattered pockets account for about 1 lakh square kilometer. Moving on, let us now talk about the Drought Prone Areas Program DPAP, which was initiated in 1973 as an integrated area development program. The main objectives of the program are firstly, to minimize the adverse effects of drought on production of crops and livestock and productivity of land, water and human resources through integrated development of the natural resources, base of the area and adoption of appropriate technologies. Number 2, to conserve, develop and harness land, water and other natural resources, including rainfall for restoration of ecological balance in the long run. Next, let us now talk about floods. Flood is a state of high water level along a river channel or on the sea coast that leads to inundation of land which is not submerged in normal circumstances. As droughts occur due to failure of rainfall, floods are the result of heavy rainfall. Thus, droughts and floods are extreme ends of the hydrological scale. Flood is a natural phenomena in response to heavy rainfall, but it becomes a hazard when it inflicts loss to lives and properties of the people. Next, causes of floods. Floods are caused by excessive rainfall by the southwest monsoons, tropical cyclones in the pre and post monsoon periods, silting of the riverbeds, changes in the river courses, and deforestation. Sometimes floods may occur due to bursting of a dam, such as Machu Dam in Gujarat in August 1979. Next, areas. It is estimated that over 3/4 of the total damage done to the crops and property is in the plains of northern India, comprising of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal, and Assam. In Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, the mighty Ganga receives a large number of tributaries such as the Gomti, the Ghagra, the Gandak and the Kosi from the left as well as the Yamuna and the Son from the right. This brings huge quantities of water to these areas both from the Himalayan region and from the peninsular India, resulting in devastating floods. In Assam, the floods are caused by the Brahmaputra and its tributaries like the Dihang and the Lohit. In the Brahmaputra basin, floods are almost an annual feature. The main cause of floods here is heavy rainfall amounting over 250 centimeter during the rainy season. Large amount of silt is deposited here by the Brahmaputra and its tributaries, which makes the river channel shallow and its capacity to carry large amount of water is reduced. This results in flooding of the vast areas in and around the valley. The Assam Valley is considered to be one of the worst flood affected areas of India. In the northwestern river basin covering Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh, the Satluj, the Beas, the Rabi and the Chenab often floods large area. Even drier parts of the country such as Rajasthan and Gujarat, which were earlier considered to be free from floods, have experienced floods during the recent years. In the peninsular India, the deltas of the Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna and Kaveri suffer from occasional floods owing to the large-scale silting and the consequent change in the river courses. Indiscriminate felling of trees in the catchment areas of major rivers has complicated the flood problem. High tides at the time of flood aggravates the flood situation. Next, let us talk about the flood control programs and policy. After devastating floods in 1954, the Government of India announced a National Flood Management Program. The program was divided into three phases. The first phase is the immediate phase, extending over a period of 2 years, was adopted for intensive collection of data and execution of emergent flood protection measures. Next, the short-term measure covering next 4 to 5 years included construction of spurs and embankments at selected sites. Thirdly, the long-term measures included the construction of storages, reservoirs on rivers, tributaries, and additional embankments. Moving on, let us now talk about the temperature and rainfall graphs. Temperature and rainfall graph is a specially designed graph which is usually termed as combined line and bar graph. Temperature and rainfall of a particular station for all the 12 months of the year are shown by this diagram. The months of the year are shown along a horizontal line which forms the base of the diagram. There are two vertical lines at each end of the baseline which are used to show temperature and rainfall. Temperature and rainfall graphs comprise a very effective method of showing the seasonal distribution of temperature and rainfall of a particular place. Firstly, let us talk about Mumbai. Mumbai is located at the Maharashtra sea coast. As such, this city enjoys maritime climate with little temperature variation. The minimum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius is recorded in January and February, and the maximum temperature of 30 degrees Celsius is in the month of May. The southwest monsoon winds from the Arabian Sea normally strike Mumbai on 10th June. Thus, the rainy season starts in June and reaches its maximum in July. After July, the amount of rainfall received here starts declining and the rainy season is almost over with the retreat of the southwest monsoon. The weather is almost completely dry from December to April. Well, there is a marginal rise in the temperature in October. This phenomena is often called the October heat. Next, Delhi. Delhi is located in the northwestern part of India. It is far away from the moderating effect of the sea, both Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. As such, Delhi experiences continental climate with marked seasonal changes with respect to temperature and rainfall. January is the coldest month when only 14 degrees Celsius temperature is recorded. The temperature reaches its maximum in the month of June. There is a reduction in the fall of temperature from July to September because the monsoon winds are active and cause rainfall during this period. More than half the year from October to May is partially without any rain. Little rainfall, which is received from December to March, is caused by western disturbances. Next, let us talk about Kolkata. Like Mumbai, Kolkata also enjoys maritime climate because it is situated on the sea coast at the head of Bay of Bengal. Consequently, there is not much annual range of temperature. That means the difference between the highest temperature and the lowest temperature isn't much. January is the coldest month when the temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. The temperature starts rising in January itself and continues to do so till April-May. It remains almost constant up to September-October under the influence of rain-bearing winds from the Bay of Bengal. After that, it starts falling as the winter season sets in. Little rainfall is caused by storms called Kal Baisakhi in the hot weather season before the onset of the monsoon. Moving on, let us now talk about Chennai. Chennai is located on the coast of Tamil Nadu. Its location of the sea coast in the southern part of India does not permit high annual range of temperature. The winter temperature are 25 to 26 degrees Celsius, while the summer temperature vary from 31 to 33 degrees Celsius. Chennai is unique with respect to rain regime. It lies in the rain shadow area of the Western Ghats and does not receive rainfall from the southwest monsoon coming from the Arabian Sea. The southwest monsoons of the Bay of Bengal are parallel to the Chennai coast and do not bring rainfall. The retreating northeast monsoon winds pick up moisture while flowing over the Bay of Bengal and bring rainfall to Chennai in winter after striking against the Western Ghats. Thus, the maximum rainfall occur in October and November and not in July and August as in the case in most parts of India. Next, Jaisalmer. Jaisalmer lies in the heart of the Thar Desert and is one of the driest places of the world. The extreme continental nature of climate is reflected in the large annual range of temperature and meager rainfall. The monsoon winds become very weak and get dried up by the time they reach Jaisalmer. As a result, the rainy months are comparatively dry and the remaining part of the year is partially without any rain. Next, let us talk about Leh. Leh is located at a very high altitude in Ladakh region of Jammu and Kashmir. It is surrounded by high mountains on all sides and is deprived of the moderating influence of the sea. This place experiences bitter cold conditions in winter and the temperature remains below freezing point throughout the winter season. It does not exceed 17 degrees Celsius even in the summer season. The rainfall is also scanty and no month receives more than 13 millimeter of rainfall. Consequently, it can be termed as an example of cold desert climate. Lastly, we have Hyderabad, the capital of Andhra Pradesh. Hyderabad is located in the rain shadow area of the Western Ghats and is far away from the coast of Bay of Bengal. Therefore, the amount of rainfall is much less as compared to the coastal locations. It is in the rainy season only that appreciable amount of rainfall is received. The temperature varies from 21 to 22 degrees Celsius in December-January to 33 degrees Celsius in May. The temperature falls with the onset of monsoons in June and remains stable at 26 degrees Celsius for 3 months of July, August, September. It falls gradually as the winter season sets in.